It's our developing story. Now, the conversation of women empowerment and gender parity is one that is rife in many corporate sectors. This is the same for the fisheries industry, where women make up over a quarter of the workforce in fisheries and aquaculture in Africa. Sharon Momanyi reports on how these women are bringing more than just fish to the table.
For more than 2 decades, Shida Hamadi has sold fish from the Indian Ocean in the coastal town of Msambweni.
Mimi asubuhi nikiamka huwa kwanza nikimaliza shughuli zangu za nyumbani naenda baharini na ngoja wavuvi wangu. Kwanza kama nitakosa kwa wavuvi wangu nanunua kwa wachuuzi wenzangu. Nikimaliza hapo ndipo nachukua mzigo wangu naja nyumbani nasafisha samaki wangu. Nikikisha wako safi naanza kukaranga samaki wangu. Kimaliza nenda kuuza. Siondoke hapa sokoni mpaka saa 3 za usiku.
Like many women here, the fish business is the main source of her family's livelihood.
Na ndio tegemeo langu hapa kwa kusomesha watoto, mambo yote ya kinyumbani.
A classic picture telling any story relating to fishing would typically be that of a man or men in canoes rowing away into fishing escapades. Women have traditionally not been fishers, but involved in the value addition end, from frying and drying fish to selling them in the markets. But a boom in aquaculture is changing this trend.
Aquaculture has turned things around because I started 10 years ago. People didn't think women could get into fish ponds. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. And men started softening the stance and realizing that, hey, there's something that women bring to the table. One, attention to detail. Women will look at a product or we look at a process and try and make it better. The hygiene aspect comes more with women. The presentation aspect comes more with women. Thinking outside the box is more women. And I want to fight for myself and say women are harder workers, because when they go into a sector that has traditionally not been theirs, they go in wholesale.
And now women are not just farming fish, but are also involved along the entire chain of the fish business. At the 4th Smart Fish Trade and Development Forum in Mauritius, most of the exhibitors were women. The women also talked about the importance of having gender perspectives in the conversations about fisheries development in order to have them as part of the development projects. Women from Eastern and Southern Africa, including Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia, showcased innovative fish products.
I produce products like fish sausages, fish powder, fish samosas.
Tunasindika dagaa ya kukaanga. Tunasindika pia dagaa ambayo ni boil, dagaa ya kuchemsha kama wanavyofanya Zanzibar, na tunajishughulisha na dagaa kavu iliyoanikwa kwa jua.
Kuja kwa ajili ya kujifunza, kupata uzoefu kwa wenzangu wanafanya nini, na pia kubadilishana na mawazo. Pia kupata masoko mapya kwa sababu kuna nchi nyingi ziko hapa.
But it's not been all smooth a ride for women in this industry. But some development programs like the Indian Ocean Commission's Smart Fish Program, the biggest fish program in Africa, have made efforts to level the playing ground and to increase opportunities for women in the industry. Tuki Rasulwa Rimanana is the communications officer of Smart Fish Program. Do you get to work with a lot of women in this fisheries industry? And as a communications officer, does your work also involve promoting what women in this industry do?
I discovered that once the fish is landed, it becomes a woman affair, a woman issue. And I've also discovered that half of the employment on fisheries is from women, but we never saw them, we never heard them. So I make it my duty to promote and to make them visible. So during the past 6 years, we have identified some successful women, and I get their stories, share them, and I hope that from my point of view, I probably bring my own contribution.
And it's not just what women get from the industry, but their contribution to food security too that matters.
In Kenya, 70% of the Kenyan population is not a fish-eating community. I honestly don't think men have been very effective in changing the community's perspective about eating fish. It's the women. Because you go out there, cook it, talk about it, discuss it, eat it. And that's one of the things that you can really just tell it's changed the way we all look at things.
Women are very key in how we transform the sector, because as we see from the fisheries sector, most women are actually involved from the processing area all the way upwards. And a lot of women back at home don't really do fish farming because they don't own land, they have no access to money. But now, since there are so many value chains within the sector, they can get in through processing, where they can add value to fish and make samosas and kebabs and sausages.
For a gender that makes a quarter of the workforce in fisheries and aquaculture in Africa and an invaluable contribution to food security, economies and livelihoods, a lot more involvement of women in fisheries management and